Hello, hello everyone. Welcome to our first interview show here at Zenith. I'm Matt, and here we're going to bring PTs, DPTs, and clinic owners for you guys to hear about their mistakes, their goals, their missions, and hopefully get actionable advice for you to implement and get more successful, more fulfilled, and love this profession even more. So today we have Stephen Phillips, an injury prevention specialist and sports injury specialist. He has been in the football game for a long time, soccer for you Americans, and I'm just eager to talk to him. So stay tuned. We're going to hop right in, and I'll see you guys soon. But thank you for being here. I'm really excited for this talk. We spoke a couple months ago. We did a little project together a couple months ago. I'm just eager to catching up, talking to you a little bit. Again, this is just a 30-minute talk, really casual, simple, just for us to understand a little bit more of your journey, who you are, and maybe help more people not make the same mistakes and do the right things just like you did in your journey, okay? Awesome. Okay. I don't know if you broke. Can you hear me? Everything's fine? Awesome.
Yeah,
So,
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
yeah, I can hear
Yeah.
you. So for those who are listening, this is Dr. Stephen Phillips. He's the head physio at Crew Alexandra FC. He's also an injury prevention and sports injury specialist. And I just would love to hear a little bit more about you, from you, of course. So give us a little introduction about who you are, what are you doing right now, how your work is, and just give us a bird's eye view of everything.
Of course. I'm just going to shut this door first.
Of course.
Oh. Okay, so I don't actually work at Crew Alexandra anymore. I've moved to Everton. So I'm now head physio for Everton's women's team in the Women's Super League in England. So I've been doing that for about 2 weeks now. I also see private clients one night a week, literally because I could see clients a lot more than that, but I'm conscious that I don't want to be working all the time. I'm very busy with my full-time job, so
I see.
And I mainly see online clients through Instagram. And I release a post once every week, once every 2 weeks, for a little bit of advertisement, also just to slowly build a bit of a following, so that maybe one day when I leave professional football and work privately full-time, I've already got a following set up on social media. And Eduardo kindly helped me with improving my online presence and helped me to sharpen up advertising.
Yeah, we gave some tips, but you already had a pretty strong content game. You have been posting a lot. We have been keeping up with what you post since then, and it only gets better. So congratulations on that. I really do love your content. I think it is really valuable. And slowly but surely, I can see that you are building this audience that we were looking for. But before we start talking about tactics and strategy and Instagram even, let's go a little bit back and just tell me, when did you decide to go to professional football, and why did you decide to even become a PT in the first place? What got you in this profession?
I think right, if I go right back to the start, my mother-in-law had a serious stroke when I was about 23, and she had a lot of physio to get her better, and that opened my eyes to physio, which I then pursued as a career. I had, at this point, I'd already done a sports science degree, so I had a bit of an understanding of what it's like to work in sport. But I just knew that I didn't want to be a sports scientist. I just wasn't sure what I wanted to be. So I went back to uni at this point, did the physio degree. I worked in the NHS in hospitals for a year. And then I moved into professional football with Salford City Football Club, who were owned by David Beckham, Gary Neville,
Awesome.
Paul Scholes, etc. Worked for them full time for 2 years, and then moved to Crewe Alexandra Football Club. Worked for them for about 4.5 years, and then, as discussed, recently moved to Everton, leading their women's team, the Women's Super League.
Awesome.
So that's my sort of career progression, I guess. Yeah.
I see that it all started from a really personal experience, right? From something, and from all PTs that we speak with and talk to, it usually something related to it, something from a family member or an acquaintance or a friend, and this sparks up the idea to pursue this career. So it is really a beautiful motivation for you, and just a really long history in this professional, right? You're a real expert, a lot of years in the game, a lot of different experience, different clubs, working on a hospital. When you started out, what was the biggest struggle for you as a new PT, as a new physical therapist, physiotherapist in this world?
I guess the biggest challenge is not having all the answers, because people expect you to have all the answers because you're the professional. So no matter what area it is, whether it's, whether I'm working in respiratory in the hospital, whether I'm working with patients who have brain injuries or footballers who have sprained their ankle, it's completely different areas of physio, but they all expect you to know exactly how to get them better. And especially at first, you don't know much. First come out of uni, only know the basics. So I guess it's that feeling of inadequacy, which was my biggest struggle at the start. That feeling of I don't know enough to help this patient as well as I should do. So I guess that's the biggest worry at the start.
I see, and this is something that I believe every beginner in every area should probably feels, right? If you're a salesman and you're trying to sell and you don't know what to say, if you are a PT, if you are we have to go through this phase to actually get good, to actually become the expert, right? And even I don't know, this is more of a question than a statement, but everybody is also different, right? You need to have this a little bit of time with the person to understand which is the best treatment for them, because my knee is not like a professional football player knee and another type of person knee. So is that the case, or as you went through your profession, you were able to really just get quicker answers and understand a little bit better from the get-go?
Yeah, I think as you get more experience, you learn what works with patients better. You also, as you do more and more reading and you more professional development, your knowledge increases. You learn about different conditions that you didn't know about. You learn about how the conditions present, so you can spot them quicker. So I guess like you said with anything really, as you get more experience, you get better at what you do and you get more confidence.
100%, 100%. And from a more career focused perspective, more of a business quote unquote perspective, did you find hard to find a new job, or to when you got to the hospital, was it a struggle for you to get accepted? How was this process for you?
I think when in England, it goes up and down. how easy it is to get jobs. When I first qualified, it was quite difficult. There was a lot of physios, seemed to be a lot of physios going for jobs. Not many jobs out there. There was, sometimes 50 people going for a job. It was very, very, very hard to get a job. And then I think after that, there was a period of time where it seemed like it was a lot easier to get jobs. And then for some reason, a period of time where it's hard to get jobs. And I think at the minute, it's a lot easier to get jobs. There's a lot of, especially in football, I see a lot of football-based PT jobs online. And some clubs are having to repost the jobs multiple times because they're not getting enough applicants. So I think it's a good time to qualify now because there's lots of jobs out there.
Yeah, that's awesome to hear, especially if someone listening that is aspiring to be a PT, that is looking to understand a little bit more of the market. It is awesome to get this expert opinion on how things are looking right now, right? I love that. And now you were able to get this huge career. You now have been working a lot with a pub, plus a little bit of a private client here and there online. Right now, what do you feel is in this stage that you are in this later stage, what is your biggest struggle and your biggest goal? You've conquered a lot, and what are you trying to conquer again a little bit more, or talk a little bit about that, man?
I guess my biggest struggle is always the thirst for more knowledge. I think even the most experienced physio in the world, the best physio in the world, will still say that they don't know enough, that they need to know more. There's always conditions that I see where I think I could know more about this, or sometimes there's rare occasions where I've not seen something before, and I think, what is this? And you feel bad because the patient expects you to know exactly what you're doing, but that's not always the case. Sometimes it just takes a bit of reading afterwards, and then coming back to the patient the next time you see them with a bit more understanding of what it might be. So I guess that's the biggest challenge, I guess, is still sometimes feeling like I need to know more. What was the other part of the question?
It was about your goals. What are your next goals? Your next besides, as you told us, growing your follower base up until maybe when you want to leave the club, you want to have a big following and clients waiting for you to attend them. Do you have any other goals besides that? But just as a quick note on what you said, I think that in every profession, we have to be forever students, right? The more you know, the more you understand that there's a lot more to know. So it is this never-ending, this Sisyphus quest that we are always in to learn and learn and learn. And that's also the beauty of it, right?
Yeah, you have to enjoy the journey.
Exactly.
I think goals, I don't have any clear goals. I guess my aim is to move up through the football pyramid as high as I can get. So I guess the next step for me would be moving over to the men's side at Everton, or moving to a club like Man City, Man United, on the women's side or even the men's side. So I'd like to work for one of those clubs because I'm from Manchester. I guess that'd be the pinnacle in my line of work. And then on the other side of that, I would also maybe one day like to move into private work and maybe set up my own clinic and see how that goes. So I guess they're two goals. I guess right now my main goal is to try and get as high as I can in football as a PT.
I see. And you've been getting a really pretty good run, and understanding your work and getting to knowing you for a couple months now, I'm sure you will get to there, man, 100%.
Thank you.
And when you, I don't know, from what you said, probably the answer is no, but have you ever worked overseas? Have you been familiar to with or get to know a little bit of foreign markets like the US or Canada? Do you understand how they compare to the UK and Manchester market for physical therapy or physiotherapy in England?
Good question. The answer is no. I've never
Mhm.
worked abroad.
Mhm.
Never. I've been traveling. Spent 6 months traveling. I did a little bit of work, but nothing similar to what I'm doing now. So I wouldn't know anything about PT in any other country.
Mm-hmm. And
Sorry.
no problems at all. No problems at all. And again, PT is such a broad area of expertise, and we have so many specializations that probably inside the UK there are different niches and ways that this goes for different types of PT. So this was just more of a curiosity for me than related to that. But just for us to finish up, we are getting to the finish of the questions. This is a quick talk, but what is your mission as a PT besides getting up in the football niche and being able to get there when you are working with your professional football players and when you are there with your hands dirty in the work, what is your mission? What motivates you every single day?
My mission is to have no injuries in a nutshell, is to have no injuries and no medical problems in the team.
Mm-hmm.
If I can achieve that, it means that I'm doing
Mm-hmm.
something right to stop injuries. Because at the end of the day, my goal is to help the team perform as best as they possibly can.
Mm-hmm.
And the way I do that is by making sure every player is fit for selection. So that my goal basically is to rehab every injury as fast as possible and aim to eliminate injuries completely, which isn't always possible, but it's a good goal to have.
100%. You're the guardian and angel of the team, right? There's a lot of respect and trust in that too, I imagine.
Yeah.
Awesome, awesome. That's beautiful, man. Really is. And what would you like young aspiring PTs to know right now? If there's someone listening to us that is thinking about becoming a PT, what is the one advice you would give them before starting out?
I guess do some experience, get some experience, try and decide what area of PT you want to work in.
Mm-hmm.
There's for me the best thing about being a PT, a physiotherapist, is there's so many different areas you can work in.
Mm-hmm.
You can specialize in, respiratory, treating the lungs. You can specialize in neurophysiotherapy. You can specialize in the hospital. There's so many different disciplines you can specialize in. You can work privately, specialize in different disciplines privately. You can work in sport. Every sport in the world will employ physios. Even Formula One drivers have their own teams of personal physios.
Mm-hmm.
So there's so many different areas you can work in. So from my point of view, I work in sport. So the advice that I'll give is based on sport.
Mm-hmm.
In football, it is definitely about who you know, not well. It's important what you know, but it's if you want to get jobs, it's more important in who you know. So I would say try and get in with a big football club if you can.
Mm-hmm.
Just working part time. you'll probably have to do quite a bit of experience first in football, unpaid experience, to get in the first place. But once you've done that on an unpaid experience, getting a big football club, just part-time, clubs like Man City, Man United will have 20 part-time physios. They'll have loads. If you can get in there, brilliant, and then just take as many shifts as you possibly can, cover as many games as you can, because then when that full-time position comes up, you'll be first in line to get it. Mm-hmm. And quite often physio jobs, PT jobs in football go to physios who are already in the club. Mm-hmm. So if you're already there, you've got a great chance of getting in. So I guess right from the start, lots and lots of unpaid experience. I did 2 years of unpaid experience before I got my first PT job in football. So if it's really what you want to do, you've got to do it. You've got to be willing to work for free at first.
100%. Awesome.
But the rewards are huge. If that's what you want to do, it won't be long. Before you know it, you'll be flying. You'll have a fantastic job that can pay well.
That's awesome. This was such actionable advice. So to summarize, know your niche, know where you want to get to, put the hard work in, be willing to do the dirty work, to work for free, for you to get experience and network, to get to know more people. And of course, once you do those things, you are going to get rewarded in the end, right? Am I right?
Yes, definitely.
That was awesome. I think it was pretty insightful. And again, this was just a really, really quick talk. This is the first time we do that. I would love to have you again in the show another time. But do you have any closing thoughts that maybe we didn't explore, that you wanted to talk about, that maybe we didn't go over and you think it is important?
Not really. I guess don't be afraid to seek help, I guess is the main piece of advice I would give. If you really want a career as a PT in sport, for example, go on LinkedIn, message lots of physios who work in sport, get help, ask them what their advice is, get to know them, because they, who knows, one day they may be interviewing you. If you already know them, you've got a better chance of getting the job. And once you do start as a physio, don't be afraid to ask for help. If you don't know something, just ask.
I love it. I love it. Put in the hard work, guys. Talk to people, send a message, go work for free, and it always pays out in the end. I love that. I love that. One last question that I forgot to ask, but it is really important. How important do you feel digital presence is in this whole journey? Do you think it is easier if you have a strong following or a strong authority-based Instagram game? Have you seen people climb up a little bit faster because of this? Do you think it helps? Do you think it is more or less? What's your opinion on that?
It depends. Again, it depends what line of work you want to do. If you want to work in sport, having an online presence doesn't matter at all. Some clubs even prefer you not to be online. The club that I'm at the minute, I'm not allowed to post anything on social media about the club at all. However, if you want to be a private physio, having a big online following is vital, because that's the best way you're going to get clients. So if you want to work for yourself, you want to have your own clinic, you have to have an online presence. Most of the clients that I get in my private clinic, I would say 90% are through Instagram. So it's the bigger following you have, the bigger audience you have to advertise to, the more clients you're going to get.
I love it. I think it is. I 100% agree in everything that you said. I'm not familiar with the sports and football club board, but it is ultra important. If you do have your own practice, if you do want to work for yourself, I think that the digital world is the best way for you to acquire new people, to get to know you, get interested in you and the treatments. And just like I said, Stefan, it is vital. So thank you. Thank you for this talk. It was such a good, insightful, a little bit quick, but no problems at all talk between us. I hope you liked it too. And yeah, I just wanted to thank you for being here with us today.
Thank you very much. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah, I really enjoyed it too. And I hope we can catch up in a couple months, do another one, and see how this climbing in the football world has been going. What do you think about that?
Yeah, definitely. Just drop me a message and I'll be there.
Awesome. So guys, this was the first interview show we ever did. It was a pleasure to talk to Dr. Stefan. I hope you guys got a lot of insight from it. And of course, we are going to be interviewing many more PTs for you guys to gather all the golden nuggets that they give us. It was a pleasure to talk to Dr. Stefan. And if you are looking to improve your digital presence, you know where to go. Send us a DM. I'll see you guys on the next one.